Was Jennie dressed inappropriately for a wedding? But why was ILLIT's Iroha crying in a variety show? TXT Soobin addressing the Hybe internal documents, addressing in quotation marks, and where is Meow? All that today and more on this episode of Totally Legit K-Pop News with me, Angelina. So if you're interested, please keep on watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video with friends you don't have. But without further ado, let's get into today's K-pop news. So when it comes to wedding culture, obviously other cultures have different ways of dressing up for weddings, and it seems Koreans are reacting to international stands reacting to how Jennie was dressed at a wedding. But let's take a look at her wedding outfit. So this is her wedding outfit. Some people are saying that this is just too casual. We'll actually read some of the responses, but some people are saying it's too casual, or they look like they're going to the office when they're going to a wedding. And actually, I've seen some Korean weddings on TV where it's like you book like a 2-hour time slot and it's like really quick and everything. That's just from what I've seen. So, you know, of course, wedding culture is going to vary between countries. So we're just looking at reactions from international stands and then Koreans reacting to international stands reactions to the wedding attire. Koreans dress casual at weddings. That's what I've heard too. Koreans do office casual to weddings. Yeah, some people are saying that it looks like funeral wear, office wear. Koreans are not meant to overshadow the bride. I've heard that as well. Korean wedding culture is so insane. Everybody looks like they're going to the office. The Korean wedding dress code is fascinating. As an Indian, like, these were my wedding season looks last year. The cultural differences are staggering. Korean wedding literally looks like funeral function. It's always only bride wearing white and others black outfits. I mean, I guess it depends. I've seen way more casual outfits than this for sure, and we're gonna look at that soon. Actually, Korean people treat weddings like funerals for real. Every time I see photos from a Korean wedding, my jaw drops because why is everyone pulling up in an outfit someone would wear to their corporate job? So of course, Korean netizens have reacted to this. So let's read some of their comments. I'm not fond of an all-black outfit, but I think she dressed appropriately for the event, and I don't particularly appreciate seeing some people acting weird about it. Every country has its own culture. I hope they can respect that. They should respect our culture. Why are they interfering? This is our way of respecting the bride. No matter what we do, it's our culture. To us, wearing a dress to a wedding seems like interfering. In a way, Koreans going to a wedding is like going to a business event. What's with everyone interfering? Korean culture is always cautious about everything. So those are some of the reactions to this. And we have some more reactions as well. And more examples, because I'm sure we've all seen idols performing at somebody's wedding, like they're close to someone, they go to their wedding and they're performing and they're dressed really casually. So we'll look at that too. So that's the same comment. Why don't you respect the culture? That's respecting the bride. They're making such a big deal of it. Going to a wedding is, we already read that comment too. That's the reaction now. Some people think like you really shouldn't overshadow the bride, so you have to dress more casually or more like office chic, I guess. So this actually reminded me of G-Idol, who, I don't know why, I've seen G-Idol attend so many weddings. So this was them performing at a wedding, and this is how they're dressed. So Myeon's the only one. Is it Myeon? It's a little blurry, but they're dressed quite casually, right? Like in jeans, like a little sweater thing. Myeon's the only one who's wearing a dress. And then there was another example where Soyeon was wearing a beanie at a wedding. This was to like hide her hair color. But the outfits again are quite casual. We're seeing jeans. And I think only one member is wearing a dress. But I remember this being a conversation as well. Like, why are they dressed so casually to a wedding? And I remember, have you guys ever seen 90 Day Fiancé? I remember one of the girls was getting married in Korea. And she was so shocked at how like quick it was, because she had to rent like this what do you call it, this event place for 2 hours, and she's like, but what about my time to shine? And she felt so stressed, and everyone was just there very casually. So it's an interesting conversation. I mean, of course, different places are going to have different ways of celebrating things. So yeah, a lot of international fans are just shocked that Jennie was wearing such casual clothing to a Korean wedding, and Koreans reacted to that by saying that's just how Korean wedding culture is. It's just an interesting comparison to make between cultures. It doesn't have to be negative. No, of course it doesn't have to be. But this is the internet. I feel like Korea has the pali pali fast paced nature, and I think their weddings are done really fast, and so going to them in more casual clothes also makes sense. Just some cultural differences. Whose wedding did she attend? I'm not sure whose wedding it was, to be honest, but it's really just the outfit that has sparked some conversation. Yeah, it's not like she wore like a white dress to a wedding. Do you guys ever see those TikToks where someone's like wearing a white dress and like, is this okay to wear to a wedding? I just need to make sure, like, should I wear this to a wedding? ILLIT, of course, are going through a lot right now. They are, of course, promoting their new comeback, and on a variety show, Iroha started crying. So they went on 1N2D, and Yuna was talking, she was giving a speech. They were all sharing their thoughts at the end of the show, and Yuna was speaking, and then Iroha just started crying. So we can see, like, Yuna's reacting to her, like, are you crying? What's going on? You know, she takes the time to cry. They skip over her for her ending speech while the other members do their speeches, and then they come back to her in the end, and you know, she's just so happy, apparently, so happy that she's crying. So naturally, a lot of people think that her crying is related to everything that's going on in Hybe right now. We're gonna read some responses to this. But yeah, she basically talked about how she enjoyed the show and was touched by the staff that were very kind. As we mentioned, a lot of people are saying it's in relation to Hybe. So here are some responses to this. Iroha broke down in tears during Yuna's speech on Idol 1 and 2D because she had so much fun in the show, and all the PDs and staff were very warm-hearted. Considering how much ILLIT was going through when the episode was filmed, I'm devastated. This being filmed while everything was going on and while ILLIT was getting massive hate, Iroha saying that she's been happy for the whole day and all the staff were so nice to them. We won't finish that sentence. PD staff's tearing up too because of Iroha broke into tears, saying the shoot was fun because of how the staffs take care of them. I hope ILLIT will be surrounded by good people. So what do you think about this? Do you think it has anything at all to do with what's going on with Hybe right now? Do you think maybe she's just an emotional person? Like she was just touched by how much fun they had, how everyone was treating them so well? Do you think there's actually any connection whatsoever? But apparently there's more evidence to suggest that it could be in relation to the Hybe stuff, because I saw this post and it was titled, "Seems like nobody is doing challenges with ILLIT." So Stacy started doing challenges, aespa too, and I searched it up, and Kiss of Life and ITZY have their challenges, even Park Jin Young, but none of them did it with ILLIT. 17 should at least do a challenge with them if they like them. So are you guys following ILLIT? Have you seen any challenges? Is there really a lack of challenges when it comes to ILLIT and their new release? What's going on with that? Here's some comments. So 17 can just do it with them, and Enhypen can too. Jin can do it, and J-Hope discharged, so he can do it too. Now, there's no other idol group that will do challenges with Hybe artists. Do you think other companies would allow challenges after seeing that document? I didn't even know that they made a comeback. The song is so-so and their clothes look too outdated. But if it's Cherish's outfit, I wouldn't do it either. Separate from the controversy, there are some parts of the choreography that feel a bit off. They're doing challenges they just posted to today. 17 is literally on tour right now. Should we go look? Like ILLIT on TikTok. Let's see how many challenges they have. Let's see. No sound. Who's this with? It seems they're doing challenges. Yeah. So it seems that person thought that because of the Hybe documents that nobody wanted to do challenges with ILLIT, but that doesn't seem to be the case. So now we're going to talk about the rest of the Hybe documents. So we all know that Hybe mentioned Lisa's Crazy Horse performance in the Hybe documents, and this is what they had to say. Her appearance in the Crazy Horse show in Paris has caused a significant image hit. She may have intended it as a challenge to nudity itself or as an empowering act, but taking the burlesque path instead of blending it in as a big part, grand performance seems a bit naive. It seems she's not fully recognizing the impact of doing so in that context. This has even led to the team's overall image being substantially damaged after other Blackpink members went to see the show. This group has never been known for intentionally using themes like feminism or gender issues as part of their image, so that's assumed to be why the issue has passed by rather quietly. To be frank, they are a team that focuses on heterosexual dating over any other activities at all. So I know a lot of people were talking about that last sentence. To be frank, they are a team that focuses on heterosexual dating over any other activities after all. What does that even mean? I mean, it just sounds like a report they made. That last sentence is wild though. So that's what was said about Lisa, but then Hybe's internal documents shown in Thai news Blackpink Lisa's content. So because the document even mentioned Blackpink's Lisa, Thai's reactions are obviously not good. So here's what some K-netizens think. Sai, Hybe really needs to close down. National embarrassment. Lisa was there too? I didn't even know. Please, when is Hybe going to fail? There's such a national embarrassment. What a freaking embarrassment. I hope that the Korean media reports more about it. They're in trouble. Lisa is considered a goddess in Thailand. So then it seems Hybe talked about in their documents the Sserafim's singing. So let's see what they had to say. A bit of momentum had built up, but it got somewhat diluted after Im Young-un's dance song performance, where his lip syncing was quite obvious. There are definitely people trying to exploit this group's weaknesses to attack them, and the fact that they're starting to target live performance skills could be a warning sign. They need to keep looking for ways to strengthen this area. Considering their upcoming performances, finding a clear way to overcome any controversies regarding live singing is essential. So essentially, Hybe addressing the live singing quote-unquote issue that has been brought up with the Sserafim by fans. I still don't get the big deal about this document if it's just employees reporting on netizen opinions. Well, that's the thing. Some people think that it's just Hybe reporting netizen opinions. So other people are saying that Hybe has actually put some of their own personal thoughts into the documents. You know, in Hybe's apology, they do apologize for this. Obviously, we're only reading translations of this, so it's hard to get like a grasp on, you know, what's opinion, what's objectively being reported on. And then other people are also adding on an extra layer of Hybe is not only reporting on these things but trying to use this against all these other idols as like negative virality. But then continuing on with Hybe talking about Le Sserafim's live performances, as for their stages, after the challenging mama conditions, the composition is becoming clearer and reactions have been improving. However, there are still some disadvantages regarding the lip syncing issue, which has drawn criticism even at AAA for not performing live. They're not that opinionated though, just saying this is what people think about this and here's the effect it's having. I think it's a company's responsibility to report on other idols' activities and following trends, but dumping on the idols in a company record is not very demure. Like, I'm not defending anything. I just think that if we knew half the stuff that companies did, we'd be so outraged. But there's a reason that this stuff like very rarely comes to light, and when it does, it's this big. Like, if we knew half the stuff, there's way more than just this that is going on. I think regardless of everyone's opinions, it can be considered at the very least unprofessional. So then continuing with the documents, it seems Hybe also addressed Eunchae's image, even kind of seemingly referencing Karam's departure from the group. There seems to be some backlash about her maknae persona. It may suggest that her concept is highly effective, sparking jealousy and dissatisfaction. While every idol team has a youngest member, some question why Eunchae specifically receives so much attention. As she doesn't have a strong vocal or rap position in the group, detractors label her as Lucky Kimsu, implying she gained attention due to the benefit of another member's departure. Karam. The popular anti-community Sojang picked up on this narrative. Recently, Eunchae's Star Diary brought her into contact with boy groups, amplifying the trend of resentment. Complaints include the perception that she emphasizes her beloved maknae personal too much, turning the other members into mother or aunt-like figures and making male idols act like caregivers outside of their own groups. Be for real, nothing justifies these documents. I'm not justifying anything. When I say companies suck, I literally mean companies suck. This is just one thing that, well, it's not the only thing. This is one of the things we found out that Hybe is doing. There's so much more that companies do that would anger us to our core, that we would think that's unethical, that's horrible. But obviously, why would they show that to us? And sometimes they do show it to us and we don't really do anything about it. Like, we know that the trainee system is rough. We know how idols are treated. Idols have come out and said, this is how I've been treated. And we kind of just like, oh, it's just part of the way that it is. But like, do you know what I mean? Like, these companies want to make money at the end of the day. Exactly. And when idols do speak up, specifically NewJeans, they get called names like brats, ungrateful leeches, etc. So then we also have Enhypen's Sunghoon that we're going to talk about in these internal documents. It seems they were talking about the way that he looked. Also, I checked videos because photos of Sunghoon on DC Inside had a lot of comments about him looking less attractive, and there does seem to be an issue, like his face is swollen or something. I've given frequent feedback regarding Sunghoon's styling as well. It seems that if he has a tendency to swell easily, he should work on finding ways to address it. He might need to take proactive steps like weight management to mitigate any risks himself. While this isn't an unattractive team, their looks tend to be more polarizing than expected. Sunghoon's appearance needs to constantly meet fan expectations, similar to how Minhyun from Newest served as a stable visual anchor for his group. So I guess this is where people think that Hybe is putting their opinion, because this is like obviously a Hybe group, so they're like, he should work on finding ways to address it, right? That seems more like an opinion, but are they talking about fans saying that he needs to find ways to address it? Because fans on forums, of course, are going to say stuff like that too, like, you need to take better care of yourself, you need to address this issue. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, is it really their personal opinion, or are they talking about fans' personal opinions? My boy looks like a prince. WTF are they talking about? Imagine being an idol reading this about yourself. Effing hell. Then it seems that they were comparing Baekhyun to Jungkook, basically saying Baekhyun is desperate. So let's take a look. They were comparing the two live streams that the two idols did seemingly in a similar time frame and the casual nature of Baekhyun's live stream. It might be because EXO wasn't able to come back as strongly as he hoped, and or perhaps because he can't help but notice his own position is becoming unstable, but he seems to be feeling a bit desperate. He even went live on Instagram at 7 a.m. to show fans his morning stretch routine with foam roller. While he has always been good at communicating with fans, showcasing such an overtly casual side makes it hard to say he hasn't been influenced by Jungkook. So from there, it seems that Soobin of TXT addressed these internal documents, and I'm going to put addressed in quotation marks because every time, like, I'm sure it's relatable, you see a headline that says so-and-so addresses such and such scandal, and then you go and it's like the vaguest stuff ever, like they're like it could be anything, they could be addressing anything. They never specifically say, oh, in regards to Hybe's internal documents, here's how I feel. And of course, we don't expect idols to do that. But let's see what Soobin had to say. So I'm not sure what he was asked, but this is, of course, for, I believe, their comeback. So we've been on tour for over half a year since May. And during that time, we've also been very busy preparing our new album. To be honest, we've remained focused on our new album and concert preparations, regardless of the surrounding circumstances. So surrounding circumstances, right? We kind of understand what that means. As we've always done, we'll continue to be active and show everything we've prepared and everything we're capable of without holding back and without regrets, so please look forward to it. Here's the backlash that he received for saying this. Is this the right thing to say? Just dare to try doing challenges or covers. Don't even think of doing challenges, Mr. Park. Boycotting this. Meanwhile, another group's comeback was taken away. This is, of course, in reference to NewJeans. Please don't even think of doing covers or challenges. Don't speak. If you have any shame, don't ask people to do challenges with you. Must be nice to have nothing to do with the Hybe situation. Do you really think your actions didn't impact anyone in your surroundings? And there's even more to that. So then here are some more comments. It must be paradise for the princes, surrounded by flowers. Then we have a group that lost its official release because of the surrounding circumstances, of course, in reference to NewJeans. What are they even talking about over there, LOL? How could they not care? The very fact that they can pretend to be unaffected just proves they're princes, LOL. So they've already decided on the comeback and the concert schedule. What can anyone even say about it over there? LOL. They've received every benefit and now they're drawing lines? That's hilarious. They talk as if it's someone else's problem. In that document, they criticized other groups and mentioned this one as the most, and they can't even apologize. Apologize. So it seems people are mad at him saying like that, well, that it didn't really affect them. That's what I'm getting from the where did he say that? We've been on tour for over half a year since May, and during that time, we've also been preparing our new album. To be honest, we've remained focused on our new album concert preparations, regardless of the surrounding circumstances. So TXT were focusing on their own stuff, regardless of whatever was going on in Hybe. And then lastly, as we've always done, we'll continue to be active and show everything we've prepared and everything we're capable of without holding back and without regrets. So please look forward to it. So Some people are angry about that. Yeah, some of the comments basically being like, well, NewJeans lost their comeback, so how can you be so what's the word, aloof to the problem? But like I was mentioning in like the intro to this story, like, do we really expect idols to be like, oh yeah, those Hybe internal documents, here's exactly how I feel about that? They're mad that he didn't mention the documents, pretty much. I mean, if the press specifically asked him about the documents, like, first of all, he's probably wouldn't be allowed to say anything. And if he did, that would cause more backlash. Like, what can you do? What can you do? But then on that NewJeans note, since we're talking about NewJeans, people are bringing up the scene from Dream Academy where they were giving Cat's Eye their name. Like they were giving Cat's Eye their name options, and then Cat's Eye could choose which name, and obviously they chose Cat's Eye. So some people think that one of the options was Hybe actually trying to erase NewJeans. So let's take a look at that. So here's the scene: New Crazy and Cat's Eye. So New Crazy was one of the options given to Cat's Eye for their group name. New Crazy, NewJeans. Here are some comments again. It's not even funny now. They're trying to steal what's not theirs, copy one's identity, and take everything and replace them. I'm really creeped out. I don't want to deal with them. Wow, this is so pathetic. Because fans were using new ILLIT aces, they got obsessed over it and tried to insert themselves. So this kind of is piggybacking off of a statement from the internal document where it said, we're being plagued by new ILLIT, the term new ILLIT, which included NewJeans, ILLIT, and Sserafim. And in the document, it basically said we need to, what was it that they said? Let's replace the new and start fresh. So some people thought that was them saying we need to get rid of NewJeans. And then of course with Minheejin accusing ILLIT of plagiarism, and then New Crazy being an option for Cat's Eye. Oh, and Dreamscape was another option. Yeah. F, LOL, New Crazy, LOL. I thought Cat's Eye was tacky at first, but the F is New Crazy. They succeeded in ousting aespa from new ILLIT, and then they succeeded in forcing ILLIT into the equation instead of IVE, but they were unable to have their way with NewJeans, so they totally just planned to exclude them like they did with aespa. LOL, they're a bunch of crazies. They said throw the new away. Yeah, this is another like piece of evidence, quote unquote, that people think is Hybe trying to erase NewJeans erasure. Didn't the parents of NewJeans mention that after Tokyo Dome, the company was planning to sideline them for 1.5 years or so to look for a new producer or something to that effect? Yeah, the parents did say that, and then Hybe responded to that basically saying like, well, no, this is just like a normal hiatus. Like they're gonna finish their promotions and everything, and then they're going on a normal hiatus. New Crazy is insane. Cat's Eye is a nice name, actually. I'm actually really happy that they chose Cat's Eye. Cat's Eye, it really suits them. Like, we all say this after the fact, well, even during the fact, but then like a year into it, nobody would bat their eye to New Crazy or Dreamscape. Out of all the options, like retrospectively, of course, we're all watching this knowing that their name is Cat's Eye, right? But like, can you imagine any other name? No. Current Denim. Stop with the names. Oh my god. New skirts, new trousers, new chunks, latest khakis, yesterday corduroy. Oh my god. Fresh capris. I don't know what's going on with K-pop groups these days, but so many of them are just disappearing. I don't know if this was a thing in the last generations, but you know, people are wondering, where is Meow? Now, first of all, their debut happened. Okay, it happened, and people were already complaining that they didn't really promote it all that much. Like they went on maybe 3 music shows, but there was a huge lack of promotion for Meow's debut. So what's going on? Where are they? Now that they debuted, they promoted it what, like 3 times, and now they're just gone. They're just gone, and fans are concerned. Where is Meow? At first I looked at this and I'm like, whatever, like they just debuted and they're taking a little break. But then I remembered, of course, well, they didn't even, like, they barely promoted their debut to begin with. So literally, where are they? Vicha's still in the JYP basement. They might be watching right now. They watch my videos. They might be watching right now. Hello? Send us a sign. Send us anything. a sign. Meow have really talented girls with a lot of potential. I hope they aren't getting shelved already. You know, they're not even following Blackpink's footsteps, like Blackpink's way of how they debut, not like actual footsteps. Let's not get this twisted. Yeah, where the heck did Meow go? That's so random because I feel like I was so hyped for them to debut and now it's poof. Like Blackpink debut came out with like a double title track, and then even a couple years into their debut, like there was a lot of content. But then Meow just had, was their debut name actually? I want to say Meow Meow, but is that right? Anyways, they just had that one song, right? Not even a pre-release. And pre-releases are all the rage. Where are they? Here's what some K-netizens are saying about this group's absence. Have they given up on gaining fans here? They're already acting like superstars even though they are rookies. Get out of the treasure box. The topicality and the interest for this group died down because they're unseen. People are starting to forget about this group. I remember even Blackpink appeared on shows like Weekly Idol, Running Man, and Knowing Bros. Are they staying in the treasure box to take it easy, or could it be that they're regrouping because the response wasn't great? Maybe they're rethinking things like strategy and concept. One member who seemed to define the group's identity didn't have as much idol charm or stage presence as expected after debut, and that's also an issue. They didn't even release behind the scenes videos or live broadcast videos. We don't know what the members' personalities are like. We only saw them dance. The time has changed. It's not time to keep them hidden in a treasure box. These girls need more exposure. Their song wasn't good in the first place. I think these girls are going to be soon forgotten. I guess if we're comparing it to Somi, it's not like Somi debuted with like a double title track or anything either, but Somi promoted. Somi was on those music shows promoting Birthday. And I'm pretty sure she even promoted a B-side too. Like, Somi was promoting the song. Y'all said the same thing about Baby Monster. I don't remember, but that's very possible. Actually, that's true, isn't it? Didn't they promote, like, they didn't even go on a music show, did they? But for Baby Monster, it was different because, like, they had their fake debut and then their real debut. And then during their real debut, they actually promoted, though. But as far as I know, this is Meow's real debut. Somi does a lot, surprisingly. Even beyond promoting her music, she does like interviews on YouTube, I think. You'll see Somi randomly pop up on some random TikToker's page making freaking sandwiches. I don't know. Like, she's promoting herself. You know what? Let's take a look. Meow. I'm gonna pull up their YouTube channel and we can just take a look. Let's go to their videos. 3 days ago, debut stages. 10 days ago, a vlog. Okay. 1 month ago, making film. Choreography. What do you think? Do you think this is like a lack of content, like a true lack of content? Or he needs to change it to a fake debut? Yeah, maybe this is their fake debut. Maybe they're going to come out with like Bailey Sock for their real debut. But what do you think? Because I'm going to be honest, I'm not one to super follow this type of thing. Like, I'll follow some stages and stuff. Is this a normal amount of content, or is it a lack of content? Now I have that song in my head. Meow. So they were, no, oh my God. Scroll, it's stuck. I can't show that on the stream. The Inkigayo stage. That was close. Oh my God. Guys, don't let SBS know. They're gonna come for me. Anyway, so they did SBS. So not Inkigayo. Oh, okay, just a bunch of Inkigayo. We're not messing with that today. Say thank you. No. We're not no. Nor. They only promoted on Inkigayo and M Countdown. That's interesting. Like, what is YG's beef with all these music YG's the black label too, I guess. Wait, so did they debut or not? Well, they did debut, but we're just joking about how Baby Monster fake debuted, you know? They had a fake they debuted, but then YG like took back their debut and they're like, oh, JK, this is their real debut. How can one even take back a debut? Because of Ahyeon. K-pop groups are so confusing with fully produced pre-debut MVs. The whole pre-debut, I remember saying like, oh, Katsa had a comeback with Touch, and people were like, it's a debut. That's their debut. Debut was not their debut, but it was a pre-release, and they literally say this is not a debut, which makes sense. But then it's like, okay, but they, you know, it's kind of in my mind it was a comeback, right? Just change the debut to pre-debut on YouTube. But it was a whole thing. It was a whole thing because it was actually a debut. Like, it was not promoted as a pre-debut, as far as I know. Correct me if I'm wrong. It wasn't promoted as a pre-debut for Baby Monster's debut. It was the debut. But then YG took back the debut and was like, this is the debut. Anyways, pre-debut debut. the discussion segment, because netizens are talking about how the two things in K-pop culture that G-Dragon changed. So let's take a look. Idols who produced and composed. So apparently G-Dragon is helped change this. Ever since the first generation of idols, HOT, there were singers who participated in the production of the songs, but back then only fans would be aware of things like this. The person who made idols producing known to the entire nation was G-Dragon, and a lot of people acknowledge this. So back to G-Dragon. Apparently, there weren't any members who wrote the title track, then got better and worked on album's production and participated in overall creative process. So you can say I played a pioneering role. G-Dragon was only 18 years old and he already produced and composed Lies by himself in 2007, which became #1 on the yearly chart. Ever since, he made a huge impact on the idol industry. Lies is such a beautiful song. The first person that Korea has acknowledged as a top liner was G-Dragon, and there were a lot of producing professionals in the field who shared his perspective. If you ask who is the best at producing among idols, everyone will agree that it's GD. It's the first time that stereotypes against idols was crushed. He's the first person to have broken the stereotype that idols can't rap and idols can't write tracks. First of all, he's a genius when it comes to producing. If you look at the songs that GD wrote until now, they were all original. It's true that before GD, K-pop really had that humble and modest image. This used to be important, but G-Dragon brought forth this bad boy image. Do you guys remember Sherry was on the podcast a couple of times, my toxic blink friend Sherry? She disappeared off the face of the earth for 6 months. Okay, 6 months. And then like I DM'd her, I'm like, are you okay? Like, is everything okay? And then out of nowhere she comes back and she's like, I'm ready to get married to G-Dragon. We haven't spoken in like 6 months, and we had a conversation before, but it's just so funny that she's like, Kwon Ji-young is back. I'm still single and we're willing to marry. G-Dragon brought Sherry back from the dead. What's the second thing that he did? Wait, G-Dragon became the first idol to become a regular member of the Korea Music Copyright Association. He has a great influence on younger idols who are currently composing lyrics. Chun So-yeon of G-Idol. She even auditioned with G-Dragon's This Love? No way. Zico. He inspired Zico as well. My goal is to be like Sotaeji Sr. and G-Dragon Sr. Day 6 Young K. And then idols in fashion. This is another thing that people are attributing to G-Dragon having changed in the industry. The moment he debuted, he became a fashion icon. He started diverse trends with his fashion items and hairstyles. Second gen was so inspirational style-wise. It was so busy. The styling was so busy back then. I remember 21 being friends with Jeremy Scott and like their Adidas partnership and stuff. Originally, fashion sponsors were only reserved for actors in Korea, but Big Bang's GD was the one who opened the door for idols to be sponsored too. In 2011, he was the only celebrity mentioned by CNN as a reason why Seoul is great. Oh my god. Do you guys remember the whole Flo Rida plagiarism thing with G-Dragon? That was a whole thing. Like, G-Dragon's Heartbreaker was accused of plagiarizing Flo Rida's Right Round. And like YG like originally didn't respond. It was a whole thing, and then they ended up collabing on a remix together, and G-Dragon performed with Flo Rida in Seoul. At 23, he was already named in the top 10 best dressed men in the world. Kwon Ji-young, aka G-Dragon, 23. Did you know that G-Dragon was the first person to introduce the concept of brand ambassador to Korea? Interesting. And people are also saying he's the one who started light stick culture. I remember Sherry was very passionate about that one too. So he was the first one to make a solid light stick for Big Bang. The comment number 3, he's such a bastard, but he has the creativity that no one else has, and he works harder than anyone else. Bastard is used affectionately. So that's what netizens were discussing in regards to the two major things that G-Dragon brought forth in the K-pop world. But for me, G-Dragon's first solo was the best. Like, A Boy, Remember Back in the Day. I need to remember the songs. What was it? Butterfly, Hello featuring Dara, The Leaders with CL and Teddy, She's Gone, Korean Dream, Breathe. That was an amazing album. let's move on to K-pop shenanigans, which are basically fun little things that have happened in K-pop recently and or quick news. Irene has announced her solo, so the first mini album Like a Flower. Then for comebacks and or debuts, we have ISNA, who released their debut trailer, and then we have TXT, who released Over the Moon. Jaehyun officially enlisted into the military, and then I saw this. Pop Base tweeted NCT's Jaehyun debuts buzz cut in new photos, and then someone quote tweeted, "This disrespectful tone will not be forgotten, Pop Base." Because, you know, Pop Base, they're usually quite poetic in their posts, but this was really like straight to the point. Then G-Dragon arrived to the airport in a cyber truck, and then Jason the Ween met NewJeans. Oh my god, guys, I literally thought this was fake. I was so convinced this was fake. I was looking at the shadows and I'm like, oh, he totally edited that, because he literally would do like these FaceTimes, like he FaceTimed Honey, you know, but it was just, he was playing a live stream of hers. So like he totally edited this. There's no way he met NewJeans, but he definitely met NewJeans. But do you see what I mean? Like I'm like, the shadows are different. Look, it's like blurry here. He didn't meet them. There's no way. I know that he actually met them, but I was skeptical because of all those videos where he's like, oh, I'm talking to Honey of NewJeans, and it was just her live stream playing and she's talking in Korean. He's like, no way, like he's talking to her. Do you know what I mean? Paper Magazine described Rosé's album, a capital P pop album with shades of intimate Swiftian storytelling and cathartic soaring hooks as she paints a narrative of love gone wrong, missed red flags, having dark nights of the soul at 3 a.m. and being toxic until the end. Dokyeom's new picture. Did I just write Dokyeom? This is giving second gen vibes. It almost looks like he's wearing eyeliner, like with the hairstyle. It almost looks like the hair is like swept to the side. It was given second gen vibes, I think. Lil Tay has defended Lisa. Lisa was receiving a lot of comments about her picture, like the picture that she posted for the Victoria's Secret show. So Lil Tay posted to her Instagram stories the picture of Lisa and she wrote, "She ate." And then there's more, don't worry. Lil Tay had a lot to say about the people saying stuff about Lisa. Stop policing women's bodies. Incels should be banned for hate speech. And then it's just all these comments. But that's not it. Women can wear whatever we want. If you disagree, suck my. Former Day 6 member Jay seemingly is speaking up. It feels like empathy doesn't exist on the internet anymore. And then he followed up with this. I see people clowning on someone shedding tears, and I'm starting to realize they themselves don't understand the depth in which they are traumatizing someone over something they have no understanding/experience in. There's no way this many people choose to be malicious in the world. It's got to be a lack of awareness, or am I just coping? So, of course, there's that clip of Sakura crying from the documentary. That clip has been going around a lot on Twitter, so a lot of people think this is what he's talking about. What do you think? Do you think he's actually addressing the Sakura situation? Because he basically says, I see people clowning on someone shedding tears. And of course, that Sakura clip has been going around, like ever since the documentary came out, that Sakura clip has been going around. That's basically it for today's video. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video with friends you don't have. These are the lovely individuals who help support my channel on a monthly basis. It means the world to me. Thank you so much. And as for me, I'm going to get going, so I'll see you guys next time. Bye!